Alright, I look like a complete douche here. Hey guys, what's up? So if you're wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses right now, it's for clickbait basically. I was gonna say there's something in my eye, but it's definitely just for clickbait. I'm not exactly... I'm just average looking, so we gotta spice things up if we want our channel to blow. But anyway, so here's my take on the 16 cards that have been released. I'll make it quick. I'll try to make it as quick as possible. And these are just my opinions, but let's get right to it. So these will be my reviews either for standard or wild, but mostly standard. But if I think it has an effect on wild, I'll go for it. So yeah, let's go with Amulet of Undying. It's a 3-drop tradable resurrect one friendly death rattle minion. So I kind of like it. I see it in wild more though with big priest and stuff. But it may be used in standard, and if this goes infinite, like I assume it would, like if you keep trading it and you could resurrect like more than 5, 6, and up to 7 minions, then this is crazy. So I think it has a more effect on wild though, but let's see. It's a shadow spell, so maybe there are synergies with more cards to be revealed, death rattle cards, and the shadow archetype might get stronger. Then next we have, okay, where am I? Sorry about this. Blackwater Cutlass. I think this is a rogue card if I'm not mistaken. I am confused with the colors. It is a rogue card, so tradable after you trade this. Reduce the cost of a spell in your hand by 1. I still take Efficient Octobot to be the better card here, but you can't really compare them. One's a minion and one's a weapon. So this one could actually go face, but if you don't like it, you could trade it and you could do crazy stuff if like the most crucial spell in your hand gets discounted. So overall, I like this card in standard. I'm not sure this will see play in wild though, because wild is about Kingsbane Rogue most of the time, and I don't see this card really seeing play. Okay, my mouse is double clicking, so I'm sorry for that. Yeah, I don't know how to fix this. It's really double clicking. Brilliant Macau. Okay, first thought, this is for Shadowwalk Shaman. So it's mostly for wild. But yeah, it could still be used in standard. I mean, it's a beast. I don't know how you synergize because mostly it's been elemental shaman in standard. But yeah, if you could repeat like a primal dungeoneer or top of my head, I don't know, Balcry cards like deal 4 damage, that elemental, fire elemental, it may be good. So yeah, this might see play in both standard and wild. I have no personal ratings. It's hard to rate cards, but I think they'll see play definitely in both formats. Next, we have Crow's Nest Lookout. Yeah, it's a deal 2 damage to the left and right most enemy minions, Balcry. I think this is pretty good. So it's a bit anti-aggro, and you could probably copy this with Philosophy, and you could deal more 2 damage to stuff your opponent. If they have like a 4/4, I think it kills a 4/4 if it's the only one on board. I think that's how the synergy goes. I think it's a great card in standard. For what archetype, I'm not sure yet, but I think it will see more play in standard than in wild. Okay, next we have Defias Blast Fisher. First look, 5-drop. I don't really like it because basically in Face Hunter, you don't want to remove your 5-cost slot. So maybe this is, of course, is a beast type of archetype, a new deck, but 5 mana is too much for me. But I think people might try it. If I would rate it, I'd rate it a 3 out of 5 or possibly even a 2, and only sees play in standard. In wild, I just don't see this. Okay, next we have Defias Cannoneer. After your hero attacks, deal 2 damage to random enemy twice. So Quest Warrior has actually been good even in standard now. It's dominating wild quite a bit, unfortunately. But in standard with the new control archetype, yeah, pretty decent pirates, especially the buffed ones recently. And if you could add this in, this is actually pretty good. You have a sort of, not really aggro, but you know, secondary damage output. I don't know what you remove to take the slot though, but I see this definitely seeing play in Standard, and maybe even in Wild as well. But in Wild, you have to have more than one weapon because the Quest Warrior usually runs only Anchor. And yeah, I guess you have to put in more weapons if you want this to work in Wild. But in Standard, definitely a good card. Next, we have Defias Leper. Balcry, if you're holding a shadow spell, deal 2 damage. So definitely this might go into Shadow Priest, and I think they're reviving it. I think Shadow Priest is actually still good even without Mindrunner Illusia. Because I actually, well, I didn't get the legend with it, but I had an insane win rate with it over 20 games, even without Illusia, well, a month ago. But yeah, I think this card is really good. Imagine race deading this. It synergizes with, Void Touch Attendance, that's the name of the card, and you have tons of shadow spells. You could just go face sometimes. This goes face. It's definitely good, and I could also see it seeing play in Wild because some people use Shadow Priest in Wild. So definitely, I think this is great in both formats. Next, we have Druid of the Wreath. Okay, first time I saw this, I said wow, and I still think that holds true. This is wow. It's either you go defensive or you go offensive. For 1 mana, you could kill almost anything turn 1 or turn 2 minions. So I like this card. I don't see it being played in Wild, but I may be wrong. I don't have much experience with Druid and Wild, so I can't form a really concrete opinion. But in Standard, I think this could possibly go in the aggro Druid archetype. Next, we have Galaka Glutton. So before it was Galaka Crawler, it was 2 to cast and it destroys a pirate. Now the tables have turned, but it's like a 3-drop now. I still think this is pretty good. I don't see this seeing play in ladder or on ladder, but on tournaments, yeah, you'll definitely see this, especially if Face Hunter remains to be, a good deck all the time. So if you see Face Hunters a lot in tournaments and you have a single copy of this, it could be game breaking. You could get a Trampling Rhino, you could get, just for tempo, you have a 3 to cast 3/4. That's pretty great. So same in Wild, but yeah, I still think it's more of for standard tournaments than ladder. Alright. Next we have Grey Sage Parrot. Okay, first look, I don't see this at all in Standard and in Wild. Yeah, this is pretty weird. Repeat the last spell you have Incanter Slow. I don't know if it counts, but yeah, I can't think of spells that cost 5 or more in Spell Mage right now, except for Refreshing Spring Water. So I don't see this seeing play, but I've got to review the standard cards. In Wild, I think it's too slow. I think there's a better mage deck, but again, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert, especially in Wild. But in Standard, first opinion, I don't see this seeing play. Next, we have Man the Cannons. So it's a pirate card, deal 3 damage to minion and 1 damage to all other minions. Okay, so this is weird. I don't see the text enemy, so it also deals damage to your minions. So this might be a good anti-aggro tool, or it could be a good, frenzy trigger. So you could trigger your frenzy stuff with this. I think it's pretty good. Maybe in Wild you could use it as a draw engine for Acolyte of Pain and some control warrior shell. But in Standard, I see Frenzy. They're trying to revive the archetype. Maybe with this card, it's pretty good. I think this might see play, and maybe we could craft decks with this when the mini set comes out next week. Monstrous Parrot. Alright, if you see this card, something like this is always going to be annoying. Death Rattle has always been annoying. Not because it's super powerful, but when it works, and it really annoys your opponent. And I think a Battle Cry repeating the last friendly Death Rattle without it having to die, that could be crazy. First thing come in mind, Dark Moon Tonk. I don't know, Teacher's Pet. I think this is pretty great. Maybe there will be a new archetype when the mini set comes, and I like this card. In Wild, I'm not so sure, but in Standard, I'll definitely try and check this out. Okay, my mouse double clicked again. I'm so sorry. Next, we have Need for Greed. Alright, so This is a Demon Hunter. Yeah, Demon Hunter card. Tradable, draw 3 cards if drawn this turn. This costs 3. Alright, combos with Glide, combos with Questline, Demon Hunter. This is insane. I think it's gonna make your Il'gynoth turn a bit more consistent. I think this is maybe almost game breaking. I don't know. I see it being put in the Questline Demon Hunter deck, and you know, OTK Demon Hunter being top again. So we can't know for sure. In Wild, I can't form an opinion. I don't think I'll see this in Wild. Next, we have Shadow Blade Slinger. It is a Warlock card. If you've taken damage this turn, deal that much to an enemy minion. Okay, this is pretty good because with hero power, you tour guide, you hero power. So for 2 mana, you could destroy a 2 health minion. I think it's pretty great. And if you could combo it with backfire or whatnot, you deal 5 to a minion with 1 mana. I think it's pretty good. I see the seeing play in standard more than in wild, but maybe you could play it in wild as well. And down to our last 2 cards, we have Sun Wings Quacker. Okay, repeat the last spell you've cast on a friendly minion this Libram Paladin. You get an extra Libram Wisdom. You get an extra Hand of Adal for card draw. You get an extra Libram of Hope. I think this is good for the archetype. I may try to put one of these, maybe not 2, but who knows. It's good to try out, and I see it sort of being abused, but it won't be super unfair of a card. In standard. In wild, nah. Okay, down to our last card. We have Wicked Shipment. Tradable Warlock spell. Upgrades when you trade, just like the other tradable stuff. Summon 2 1/1 imps. Upgrades by 2 when traded. Alright, I don't know if what you upgrade is how many you're gonna summon, or if the 1/1s become 3/3s. Either way, I think this is a good value card. I'm not a fan of, you know, Warlock, Zoolock right now, but who knows, maybe it's gonna be revived, especially with the addition of this card. So I see this again more in standard than more in wild. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my opinions. They're basically, you know, not the pros opinions. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think about the first 16 cards. Yeah, 16 cards of the mini set. And do please consider subscribing. And I'll see you again next time.